Welcome to the Daily Energize Podcast, where you'll get a jolt of energy and a quick tip to help you conquer your day. Now here's your host, the Prince of Positivity himself, Spencer Jones.
Hey Energizers, thank you for hopping in, joining me, Spencer Jones, the Prince of Positivity, in this episode of the Daily Energize. I am grateful for you being here, and if you could do me a favor and share this episode out with one person. I could say 2, 3, 5, 1,000, whatever, share it on your social media, but a lot of times people love that, well, almost all the time, people love that one-on-one touch, right? Just say, hey, I really think you would appreciate this podcast or this thing. So if you could, think of one person in your life who you think would really enjoy the Daily Energize and share it with them, right? It could just be a message, it could be a phone call, it could be a text, it could be email, whatever. But if you could share it with them, I would really, really appreciate it. That way we can help and support even more people on their journey. So I just want to be open and honest with you. I try to be transparent with a lot of things and vulnerable and just open, right? I just try to be an open book because I don't want you to ever look up to me. I'm not a person to I don't think we should look up to anyone, and I'm definitely not a person to look up to. I've made plenty of mistakes. I think some of us are farther along on journeys, on a variety of journeys than others, and some are not as far along as it, and that's okay, right? We're all in the same arena. We're all learning. We're all growing. We're just at different points in this journey, and that's a beautiful thing. And for those that are farther along on the journey, I hope that they can reach back and help support others who are going on that same or similar journey. And that's all I'm trying to do, is just reach out and try to support people on the journey that I've been, where I might be a little farther ahead. Let me help support. But there are plenty of people who are farther ahead on a number of journeys than I am. And I'm trying to learn and grow from them as well, so we can help one another achieve that next summit and keep going. But I say this because I just want to be open and vulnerable. Today's topic is about failing and being a failure. And if I'm just going to be totally open and straightforward with you, I've been struggling with this a lot. As I mentioned, how do I say this? Most of you know that I've struggled with suicide for some time. And it was years ago that I was in my low in my funk, in my rock bottom. But over the last couple of months, those thoughts, those feelings have come back. And I'm using all the tools, the strategies that I know and have used to help pull me out of it. And thankfully it has. I've gotten a lot better. But I've been surprised at seeing how often this has come up again for me. Not for other people, but for me, of feeling like I failed once or things aren't going the way I want them to go, and then relating it to being a failure, and then it just spiraling downward. And I know that if I'm feeling it, I'm probably not the only one who has felt this way. And I hope that you have never felt this way before. But if you do, or if you have, know that you are not a failure. That if we fail, okay, we failed. That's not a death sentence. That's not the end of the world. That means that thing did not work. And especially for people who are going for big things, going after their goals and dreams and trying to live their life to the max, we're bound to try things that fail. And that's okay. The only thing that would make us a failure is if we stopped and just did not do anything ever again. But even then, I'm not sure we're a failure. That's just a choice that we made. It's okay to try things. It's okay to fail. But that never means you are a failure. That means you've learned an approach that didn't work, right? Like that famous Thomas Edison, right? We found so many ways that the light bulb didn't work, 9,000 whatever ways, to not make a light bulb. And then they found the one. How many times do we just look at people's successes and not all the times they failed? And one of these recent times that I was in that funk, not suicidal, but feeling like a failure, when I was really in that funk, I'm working and was reading through an Arnold Schwarzenegger book called Be Useful. Awesome book. Highly recommend it. Be Useful. So I was reading it. And I just remember looking at Arnold's picture on the front and going, man, I mean, I know the answer because I know his story enough to go, have you felt like a failure or like you just, everything's going wrong? And I know his answer is yes. I have failed before, but you're not a failure, right? I can hear him saying that to me. And it's been a couple of days since I've read, so I don't remember what the next chapter is about. And so as I was reading, I was talking with him about it. Then I opened the book, ready to read. And guess what the next section's on? Failure. It's like the universe is trying to tell me something over and over and over and over again. I just need to be aware of it. How many times is the universe trying to tell us something? Try to tell us whatever message we need to hear, yet we have blinders on. And it's trying to nudge us and remind us of all these different things. Like Arnold, the universe was reminding me that, yeah, I might have failed, but I'm not a failure. I'm here to tell you that you are not a failure. You're not. So try not to make an event into an adjective. Let me say that one more time. Try not to make an event into an adjective. Like, oh, I failed this time. Well, now I'm a failure. That's not true. We failed at one time, but now we can take that, learn, and grow from. And I know it's not always easy. I know it because I'm living it. Well, thankfully, I've gotten a lot better. I'm happier. I'm out of that funk. But it still happens. And that's part of this journey too. Sometimes we get checked and pushed down a little bit to see how resilient we are and see if we implement the things that we have learned. And it's not always easy, but it does help remind us and launches us even more forward when we can take the needed action to get out of it. So I want you to know you are never alone. You have me. You have our Energizer family by your side. Because we're here together as a family to live our lives to the max, to shine bright. And I want you to know that I hope you are never, I want you to know that you are never a failure. And I hope you never feel that way. And know that you are here with me, with all of us. Because together, we will shine bright. All right? I love you. I appreciate you. Thank you for sticking with me through stumbling through words and figuring out how to explain things or share things. But this is what you get. Raw, real, authentic, mumbly, jumbly Spencer. So, keep being you, keep shining bright. Until next time, I'll catch you later.
Thank you.